Hey everybody, welcome to chapter 6. This is my 5th time doing this video, so if my dogs start barking in the background this time, I just don't care. So, here we go. We're going to talk about learning, and learning, associative learning, it covers all 3 basic types of learning, which is classical, operant, observational. We are going to discuss classical, and my partner is going to go over operant and observational. But let's rewind a little bit. Let's talk about learning versus reflex and or instincts. Reflexes are just what we do. Breathing is a reflex. Instincts. It's when you walk outside and you're cold, so you do this. Nobody teaches you to do this, you just do this. It's instinctual to warm up. Learning is from experience. You know when you walk into the kitchen not to touch the stove, probably because when you were 3 or 4, you walked into the kitchen and touched the stove. You know that it burned, so you don't do it anymore. That's experience, that's learning. So let's talk about classical conditioning. The reason beside me, on the other side, is Pavlov. Anytime you hear about classical conditioning, you will hear about Pavlov and his dogs. Pavlov actually started out learning about digestion, and through that learning, he developed classical conditioning. His classical conditioning started with dogs, and he would present their food. He would see that they salivate. Then he would present their food with a bell. He did this over a period of time. So eventually, all he had to do was ring the bell and the dogs would begin to salivate. There is a higher order to classical conditioning where you can add a variable, such as in the book, it shows a cat. They used a can opener and the food, and the cat came to attention. Eventually, they included the opening of a squeaky cabinet, the can opener, the cat's food, and eventually the cat just came to attention when it heard the cabinet opening. I teach special education, and nobody wants to hear me say, hey, clean up 25,000 times a day. So what I've implemented in my classroom is classical conditioning, and I have a doorbell in my classroom. I have the doorbell button in my pocket, and so when it is time to clean up, I just push the doorbell button. It took me approximately 2.5 months for my students to all do this and all be on the same page. And so now, either myself or my 2 assistants, somebody pushes the doorbell button, my students know it's time to clean up and move on to the next subject. Also, at the end of the day, I do not have to tell my students, okay, it's time to clean up, nor do my students try to clean up until they hear hit the road jack. I play the video on my Promethean board. They know it's time to stand up, get their stuff together, and line up on the black line. It's classical conditioning. Now, there was a scientist named Mr. Watson, and he wanted to get human emotions with classical conditioning. His human emotion was fear, that he wanted to bring forth from this child over inanimate objects, things that wouldn't produce the emotion of fear. So he presented a bunny or cotton, things that a kid would usually play with, and he paired it with a loud banging noise, making the child fearful of these toys or these objects. In my opinion, this is totally not ethical. Also, they were not able to conclude if it caused phobias later in life because the mother took little Albert and left. So that experiment wasn't concluded to see if it had lasting effects. But the scientist was able to make the child fearful of these objects during the experiments. So that is an overview of learning and classical conditioning. And that's that. Thank you. Bye.